Hello, my name is Pete Peterson. Today I'm going to show you a really versatile dish made out of brown rice and beans. You can use almost any kind of bean that you like. And of course the type of beans that you use will change the taste a little bit. You want to use brown rice because it's healthier. You can also get brown rice, especially when you get it in bulk, you can get it in beans as well. You can get them pretty cheaply. So it's a really inexpensive dish as well. It's a good idea to soak the brown rice and the beans at least 12 hours and usually a good 24 hours or maybe even just a little bit more. I put these in over 24 hours ago, and what I do is I put the brown rice in a pan first, and then I add the beans, and I put in a half a cup of brown rice, and then I put in a cup of beans. And this time I used white beans. For a number of different reasons. One is that they cook just a little bit faster than some of the other beans, and I'll show you that when we do the cooking. And then I add about an inch or 2 inches of water on top of the beans. Now what I'm going to do is just drain off the water. I've got a pan over here, and I'm going to turn it on high, and I'm going to add a cup of water to that. And I'm going to take and add my beans and rice. If you go to the website that I have listed on the video, you can see the recipe and print it off. Also, you can ask questions about this. Okay, I'm adding the beans and rice and wanting to get all of it because I don't like to waste. And there's even a little bit left in the lid, and I want to get that too. Okay, next I'm going to add a can of tomato soup. I actually prefer to use tomato basil soup if I have it, but today I didn't have it, so I'm just adding regular tomato soup to the mix. Okay, and next thing I'm going to add are some green tomatoes. Tomatoes are really easy to grow, but they don't take a lot of space, and I like the green tomatoes for cooking. And so I'm going to add some green tomatoes in. Other options that you can put in here is some zucchini, another plant that's easy to grow, and patty pan squash is another summer squash that I really like to add in sometimes. I'm not too worried about cutting these up really small because of what we're going to do with the mix, so I'm just going to cut them up into some fairly big chunks. Add the tomatoes to my mix. And one more thing, I'm going to grab 1 onion. peel off the outer layer here. And again, I'm going to just cut this up into fairly good sized chunks. And I can hear the mix boiling already. Want it to come to a really good hard boil though. I'm going to add my onions in. I'm going to put the lid on. Let it boil while I'm doing the next step. Now the next thing I'm going to do is, I happen to have a few extra onions that were in the fridge, and I'm going to just take and pour them into the pan that I have here. And I'm going to cut up another onion. These are Walla Walla sweet onions, and of course the taste will be quite a bit different depending on the kind of onion that you put in. I'm going to prefer a little bit more mild taste for this. And I'm going to cut this onion up into smaller pieces. If you happen to have a chopper, that's always better. Something like this. Okay, this onion I'm just adding right in to the pan again. There's one more thing that I'm going to add into the pot behind me though. I have two spices here, and I like to add one or the other. I don't like to add both. I add these as much for nutrition as for taste. And the two spices are turmeric and cumin. This time I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cumin. If you go to my website, you can see the nutritional benefit of all of these foods as well as the spices, and there are lots of nutritional benefits to both cumin and turmeric. Okay. Next thing I'm going to cut up are some peppers. Usually I like to use a green belt pepper, but I didn't happen to have one today, and so I had a few of these smaller peppers, which are also sweet peppers, and I'm going to cut these up into smaller pieces too. As you can see, even using a knife, it doesn't take very long to slice these. Okay, and I'll add those in. Okay. Next thing I have are some tomatoes, and I have a number of tomatoes. And as you can see, these are ripe tomatoes. So the green tomatoes went into the bowl that's cooking, and the ripe ones are going right into the pan here. Last time I made this, I used both zucchini and the green tomatoes. It was great. As you can see, I'm not too worried about them getting into just little tiny pieces. I'm also adding a few more tomatoes than I usually do, just because I had them. And I love tomatoes, and tomatoes are really good for you. One of the reasons why I'm showing you the whole thing and showing and actually cutting everything instead of having everything cut up in advance is that I want you to have a really good idea of how quick this really is to make. It just really doesn't take a long time. And of course, if I wasn't trying to show you how quick it is, I could easily take a little bit more time and maybe do just a little bit better job of cutting. But just one last tomato. There's the tomatoes. I'm going to mix all of this around a little bit, just so that things are evenly distributed. And now, some olives. You don't have to put the olives in, but I like to. They add a really good flavor to it. always a good idea not to cut yourself too, by the way. Okay, the olives are done. Okay, lots of great fresh vegetables in there. I mentioned before that I was using the white beans or white small bean. One of the reasons is because of how quick they cook and how much they expand as I'm soaking, and they just do a really good job. And so it makes it a little bit easier to do this dish as well as some of the other dishes. Some of the other dishes, if you use some of the larger beans, pinto beans, some of the large kidney beans, you have to cook them just a little bit longer or let them simmer just a little bit longer. And looks like I had one olive or a couple olives that I wanted to cut up just a little bit more. Okay, I'll go back and look and see at my mixture. It's boiling really nice now. Take it and try not to burn my counter so that my wife won't kill me, which is always one of my goals. Okay, and I'm going to move it all, put it all into my blender here. With some blenders, you might want to do it a little bit at a time. Blend some, and then take it out, and then blend some more, and pour the rest of the mixture in. Scoop it in. Okay. Lid on. As you saw, I don't need to blend it for very long. Okay, now I'm going to just take the whole mixture, pour it right on top. Use my spatula again. Get it all out. Okay, now I'm going to mix everything here. And I have just one more thing to add. And I have some sour cream. You can go with cottage cheese if you like. I usually do a whole container, 16 ounces of sour cream. Put it in and mix it all. Get it all mixed up really, really good. And tonight what I'll do is I'll use it as a dip, and just with chips, like those chips that are there on the counter. Could easily use this as a burrito mix. As I mentioned, just take some tortillas and put it in there and wrap it. And taste it. And it really is excellent. It is just absolutely great. And it's also very healthy for you. Give it a try. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.